at a certain time, they called us all back to work, but still we were out of work without pay.
But you could collect unemployment either way. And what happened is the people who are able to collect unemployment, and the government is also paying back the wages they lost. So now they're getting paid almost double what they were making.
No, that's not how it works.
It is how it's working this end. That was written in the agreement. People, unless I'm wrong, somebody call in and tell me, but I'm pretty sure it's been said both by Democrats and Republicans that's what's happening. So, I may be wrong. Again, everything that we say is our opinions. You have to remember, and don't hold anything that we say to be the gospel truth.
Speaking of opinion, as you hear the trains in the background, remember, unless you call up and give us your opinion, then those of you who are tuning in are listening to Felix and I express our opinion. And our opinion doesn't mean any more or less than yours does. So again, if you're near a phone, the area code is 516-665-1860. Call us up. Tell us how you feel. Tell us how you feel about power to the people. Tell us how you feel about starting this grassroots movement of a coffee party, where every time you have a cup of coffee, it spurs you to think about who you're sending back to Congress to represent you. Very important. Remember, the laws originate in the Congress. Then they go to the Senate. So if you want laws to be passed that are certainly in a benefit to you, make sure you have the proper representation.
Do you know that this agreement that was, you know how they did it so fast, all of a sudden they made an agreement and the Senate started it though. Did you notice that? And they approved it and then they passed it on to the Congress. The reason for that is they took another agreement, something the Congress put through. They completely shelled it out and put this agreement into that piece of legislature.
Well, John Boehner, remember, originally did not want to put anything on the floor of the Congress that he could not get passed by a majority of Republican votes. That's the Hastert Act. Okay, it was obvious from the start that unless he opened it up to allow Democrats to vote, he would not have had the vote to send this off to the Senate. Okay, as it is, I took a long look at the list that was posted on Facebook of all the Republican senators who voted against this, and it was a vast, it was a vast number. But still, there were some, like Orrin Hatch, John McCain, Lindsey Graham, people who ordinarily you could talk to, okay? And, they said, look, it can't be like this. We have to come to some agreement, so we just want to buy some time. And really, that's all they've done. They're buying time, and there's no guarantee that things are going to be any different when they reach this deadline in January and February.
I believe they agreed that they're going to start working on this, on our debt limit and everything else now. But of course, now doesn't mean now because everybody in the Congress took off after all these days of working hard. So whenever they come back, they hopefully will start talking about it, just like the committee that was there talking to avoid the sequester. They didn't do too well. And the differences in these parties are too extreme at this point. We have to bring in moderates from both sides people who understand that we do need social services, we do need health care, but at the same time, also understand that we have to cut down on our spending. There's a lot of waste, a lot of money spent on things that just not necessary, or you've heard where one department or another wind up buying coffee cups for $125 a piece, or a screwdriver for $500, whatever it is. It's an exaggeration, obviously, because somewhere along the line, I'm sure there's more than that involved. I hope nobody buy a $125 coffee cup. But, let's get some more...
Unless the proceeds go to the coffee party.
That's it. That's right. The coffee party. Depending on the response to this, by next week, we're going to start a coffee party donation fund where everybody's going to send coffee to their best friend, and they're going to tell them, join the party, join the coffee party. And you could even send them a couple of cookies to go with the coffee, because what's a good cup of coffee without a little sweet to go with it?
That's right, a good chocolate chip or Oreo cookie.
Of course, as if you saw by our pictures of one of the other shows that we posted, we're both slightly chubby, so we don't eat cookies or chocolates or stuff like that. And
Now, Felix, I used to tell my students, when I started teaching all those many years ago, I was 6'1", 185 pounds, wide receiver in college, with a beautiful head of hair. And of course, at the time, I was something like pushing 200 pounds. I was bald. And I told them if they wanted to get the equivalent of an A in my class, they would have to agree with me. And then they all started to laugh, and they got the joke.
Yep. Well, we're definitely not 6 foot, but we weigh more than most 6-footers weigh. So we are not here promoting eating cookies, but drink your coffee black, enjoy it, join the movement. Power to the people.
That's right. That's right. And this is a movement, because from now on, as I said before, it's like those Saturday morning commercials that are geared toward kids. They seem so stupid, and the cereals are chock full of sugar, but it's the stupidest commercial that the children remember and that you remember. So that every morning, every coffee break at work, every cup of coffee in the evening, you were going to remember that, and you were going to think of us. These two roly-poly guys from Oceanside, New York, who are telling you that you have the power to make the change. It's up to you.
You see, and again, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm not going to tell you what party to vote for. I don't really care. Vote for who you think is going to do the right thing. Be bold. Don't just...
Be bold or bold?
Bold. Oh, be bold or bold or bold. Be bold. Don't just re-elect the last guy that was in office, because that's what we always do. We re-elect 90% of the people who were in office before, which means 90% of the people who are getting probably only a 10% approval rating are going to go back. And you know what? They know it. So they don't care. They're going to do what they want because they know they'll vote me back anyway. People don't have I'll say, the guts to put somebody else that's new. Except maybe a few of the Tea Party people. And those people had the guts, but they were also nuts. So
those people, the Tea Party people, are the ones who are threatening the more moderates in the Congress, that they are going to challenge them with a primary for their congressional seat. I say, let them do it. Don't cower. Don't be afraid, because the majority of people are more moderate than you think.
And also, look at it this way. Even if you lose your seat, as they call it, you're going to get a pension plan for the rest of your life. You got medical for the rest of your life. The people don't have that.
Yeah, who would want to have a job where they get a positive rating of only 10%? Because that's all that's the rating of Congress, 10%. In fact,
I remember
18
actually.
John McCain at the time said, other than staffers and people who work for us, show me the ordinary American who actually believes that we're doing a job here.
They're doing a job. They're doing a job on the people.
Power to the people, baby.
That's it. So just remember, if you're a congressman, do what you know is right. Don't let your constituents put the screws to you. And don't put the screws to your constituents.
John Lennon said, you may think I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Just join us and the world could be as one. I'll say it again. Get out there, vote, let your feelings be known, take an active interest in your community. Okay, join our coffee party. It's even better than Hoda and Kathy Lee Gifford. They drink champagne at 10 o'clock in the morning. Felix and I drink coffee, so we are the coffee
at 10
party.
10 o'clock at night.
Yes, so we are the coffee party. We're not rich enough to drink champagne.
Yeah. But we want everybody to join in. And kids, don't drink coffee. When you're old enough to vote, then you can start drinking coffee.
I didn't start drinking coffee till I was in college, Felix.
As I said, when you're old enough to vote, you can start drinking coffee.
I was basically a milk and cookies guy.
I could tell.
Oh, thanks. I know. And then it went from my stomach to my head, and I lost my hair. Well, you could tell that we're getting to the witching hour. Not to have people start thinking about Halloween. But we've been on the air for 28 minutes, and it looks like unless something happens like Monday where we get a last-minute call or two, looks like the show is going to be a wrap.
Mark, the show is 45 minutes. And us cutting it short is not going to give people an opportunity to call if they want to call. What if they're going to call 20 minutes before? Or like last time, 3 minutes before the show ended. It doesn't matter. Let them call in. We're here when we have a commitment. Our commitment is power to the people for at least 45 minutes twice a week. And if you people don't want to call, you're going to have to hear more from Mark and me. And I'm sure a lot of the people would rather listen to themselves than listen to us.
Why do you think we started this in the first place?
Because we like to listen to ourselves.
Very true. Very true.
It's the way it is, And if you want to hear Mark start yawning and me start snoring, that's okay. You're the audience.
We are giving you radio drama over the airwaves.
Here we go. It worked. We have a call.
Look at this. 1 minute left to go, and we get a call. Oh, my goodness.
And go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, who's this?
You're on the air.
Oh, Mark, it's Carol.
Hi.
I don't want you to get off the air.
You want us to stay on?
I want you to stay on, in, over, and through.